Hi, my name is Sahar Alam, and today we will be learning about mercury contamination in Grand Street, Hoboken, New Jersey. The objectives of this presentation are to explore the history and contributing factors to mercury contamination, understand the health consequences of elemental mercury exposure, and review the plan selected for mercury remediation for Grand Street. First, we will investigate the history and timeline of events at Grand Street. Next, we will investigate what is mercury and how the residents were exposed to it. Then we will examine the tests and analyses of mercury samples and data collection. And finally, we will explore the selected remedial action for mercury contamination. First, let's investigate the history of the site, Grand Street. In 1910, Cooper Hewitt Electric Company moves into the General Electric co-owned building at 722 Grand Street and manufactures mercury vapor lamps and other mercury-containing products. Cooper Hewitt continues to manufacture vapor lamps on the site until 1964. Between 1992 and 1993, Grand Street Artists Partnership begins to negotiate to buy the property, and after they purchase it, they begin renovations. Between 1994 and 1995, the residents discover traces of mercury and contact the Hoboken Health Department. In 1996, the Hoboken Health Department orders residents to vacate the property, and in 1998, the EPA issues an order for remedial design and removal. This order mandated GE and Pascal to provide site security and building maintenance. GE was mandated to clean up the site, including demolition of the building, proper disposal of the debris, and proper disposal of the contaminated soil. Figure 1 presents the demographics within 1 mile of the site. Figure 2 presents a map of the mercury site. The total population consists of 80,420 people. Of those, 6,906 are children, 8,320 are adults ages 65 and older, and 21,833 are females ages 15 to 44. The total housing units within the area are 36,221. Exposure to elemental or metallic mercury often occurs when it is spilled or when products containing mercury break, exposing mercury to the air. Elemental mercury appears as a heavy, bright silver liquid and it releases mercury vapor in the air at room temperature. There are 3 possible ways the residents of Grand Street were exposed to mercury: inhalation of mercury vapor, skin absorption, and accidental ingestion. Mercury in elemental form is found as a liquid and as vapors in the air at room temperature, and it is the contaminant of concern at Grand Street, Hoboken, New Jersey. Mercury vapors have been observed to increase indoors as temperature rises at the site. Figure 3 presents the characteristics and signs and symptoms of elemental mercury. Mercury is not considered to be a human carcinogen by the EPA. As a result, only adverse non-cancer health effects of exposure to mercury in air and soil were evaluated in a risk assessment. Non-cancer health effects of mercury exposure include tremors in the fingers, eyelids, lips, hands, and arms, depression, irritability, exaggerated response to stimuli, insomnia, emotional instability, and death. Short-term exposure, classified as less than 8 hours of exposure, include respiratory, gastrointestinal, and CNS symptoms. This includes cough, shortness of breath, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, headache, weakness, and vision changes. Using a combination of field analytical and laboratory analytical techniques, approximately 2,000 air samples have been collected to monitor interior airspace for mercury vapors. Figure 4 presents the mercury vapor levels found in the bedrooms of the exposure site from January 29th to January 31st, 1996 using 2 methods of analysis. The OSHA permissible exposure limit for mercury vapors is 100 micrograms per cubic meter averaged over 8 hours. Figure 5 presents the concentrations of urine mercury found in the residence of 722 Grand Street. Mercury concentrations detected in the residence ranged from 3 to 102 micrograms of mercury per liter of urine, and 20 samples had mercury concentrations equal to or greater than 20 micrograms of mercury per liter of urine. The Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry stated that adverse health effects may be associated with mercury levels greater than 20 micrograms of mercury per liter of urine. The selected remedy involved 4 major components: permanent relocation of the building residents, demolition of the building, soil sampling, excavation, and off-site disposal, and groundwater sampling and analysis. One benefit of the selected remedy was that it was protective of human health and the environment because mercury contamination in the buildings was permanently eliminated by a demolition effort. The selected remedy enabled EPA to move the former building residents into permanent housing in the shortest time possible. In total, the decontamination process cost approximately $35 million, of which $15.5 million was provided by GE and the remaining $20 million by the EPA. In summary, from 1910 to 1964, GE and the Cooper Hewlett Electric Company manufactured mercury vapor lamps and other products containing mercury. Between 1992 and 1993, Grand Street Artists Partnership negotiated to purchase the property. However, during renovations, they discovered the presence of liquid mercury and airborne contaminants. In 1996, the Hoboken Health Department orders residents to vacate the property. Test results revealed 20 out of the 29 residents, 6 of whom were children, possessed enough mercury in their systems to cause subtle neurological changes and kidney problems. The factory was demolished by the summer of 2003, and after multiple tests, the EPA declared the site to be suitable for use by residential populations in 2004. The decontamination process cost approximately $35 million, of which $15.5 million was provided by GE and the remaining $20 million by the EPA. Thank you for watching this presentation about the Grand Street Mercury site.